What is credit and how do we build it? I'm a young adult and I know that many people my age and younger in high school are asking this question because there's not a class offered in high school, and in college you should be expected to have credit by then. So what is it? How do we use it? How do we get it? Credit is a number between 300 and 850. This number represents how eligible you are to receive a loan. So someone at a bank probably won't give you a loan if you have a really low score. This score has some categories. So if you are under 850, it's a poor credit score. You're below most of the US average and you probably aren't going to get a loan. If you're between 580 and 669, you're fair. You can get loans, but it's still below US average. If you're between 670 and 739, you're in a good category. This is where the average US citizen has their credit score. This is about where I fall, and I've had my credit card for about 2 years. If you are between 740 and 799, this is considered very good and you are much higher than the average, and anything above an 800 is an exceptional average of your credit score. Having a credit score can really hurt you. For me personally, when I was a senior in high school, I realized that I'm going to college and I need money to do that. I can't just show up and pay money. I'm an independent student, meaning that my parents don't support me financially and I don't live with them, so I needed to pay for myself. Well, as an independent student, I'm lucky that I received certain scholarships, but at the same time, there were some schools that finance was way too much for me. I couldn't pay for it. So if I were to get a private loan, I wasn't able to with no credit. In order to get a loan, I have to have some sort of credit. And in order to get that credit, I needed to do something for myself. So what I did was I went to discover.com and I got out a secured card. So what a secured card is you take a chunk of money, for example, like $300, and you put that $300 in. You send it to the company and they keep that money away from you. You use the credit card just like a normal credit card. You make payments, you use it, all that stuff. And then after a certain amount of time, usually about 8 months, they will give you that money back if you have no missed payments. If you miss a payment, they take that $300 and pay off your bills. So this is to maintain good credit as well as teach you responsibility about your credit. So there's also a few things that affect your credit. 35% of your score is based on your payment history. This is the biggest chunk of what your score consists of, so paying on time is extremely important. And if you don't pay, it's there for 7 years. Just keep that in mind. 30% is based on your current debt. So if you have installment loans through the school, that shows on there. If you have revolving credit cards, so if you have multiple credit cards, that shows on there. That's also, those are big debts that have another huge impact on your score. 15% of it is determined by your credit history. 10% is allotted to new credit applications. So if you apply to a new credit, if you want to get a MasterCard, it's probably going to take off 5-10 points here and there. And 10% is about types of current credit. So like I said, installment loans, all that kind of stuff. I got this from Wells Fargo, but this is current with all FICO credit scores. So like I said before, I used a secured credit card to build credit, and that was because I had no credit. I couldn't just open a credit card because when you apply to get a new credit card, you are required to put in your current credit information, and if you don't have credit, they're not going to approve you. So like I said, a secured credit card is one of the easiest ways to build credit from scratch. Another way you could do it is if you have parents that have a credit card, you could become an authorized user on the credit card that they are using and start developing your credit from there. I know personally that's what my boyfriend did to develop his credit, and he had phenomenal credit going into his freshman year of college. Another thing you could do is go to a bank and take out a small loan, like $500 or $1,000 to pay off a car or something like that. Make payments on it, and there you go, you're building your credit. So having good credit will benefit your future drastically. It allows you to take out loans for school, it allows you to take out loans for a house, for a car, anything you want. If you want to buy a camper, you can get a loan for it. Keep in mind, taking out that money is going to lower your credit, but you have that money to let you get to that point. So having credit is such a important aspect in your life when you are older. I'm so glad I figured out how to do it myself, and I really wish that high schools and colleges stress the importance of credit. So a couple tips I have for you is when you are starting on credit and throughout your credit history, you should always make your payments on time. Don't ever buy something unless you have the money for it. That's what I did. If I have it in my checking account and I have no money on my credit card, I use my credit card. Immediately when it goes in, I pay it off. Pay it off as soon as you can. And you'll be fine with your payments, and you will have good credit history, and you will be somewhat stress-free. Not financially stress-free, but you will be somewhat stress-free that you can have help.